And here is my Eclipse in C drive. We kept on C drive, Eclipse 64, and the zip file we got, and we unzipped that. After unzipping, we are getting a folder. Go to that folder, go to the unzipped folder. So Eclipse Java, this one, click on this, again click on Eclipse, and here you can see a purple color icon, right? This one, just a double click, your Eclipse will launch. Your Eclipse will launch here. Can you all do this? Eclipse will launch, and first you will get a workspace selection. Select a directory as workspace where you want to store your programs. The location it is asking. So provide the location. I have given D:// Eclipse workspace, this one, but I'll give a different name. This is my Eclipse workspace. So you can create a multiple workspaces, and I have given all my Java programs I'm storing under D drive / Eclipse workspace. So this is the thing I have given. So any name you can give, D:/ or C:/ Eclipse workspace. You just give the name simple, so that it will be easy to remember that. So that means you can understand all your programs will be under this. If tomorrow your Eclipse crashes also, your programs will be available under this D or C drive, whatever the folder location you are giving. In this folder location, all your Eclipse programs will store there with a project hierarchy. I'll show you that a project hierarchy. So don't select this. So this one, this checkbox, leave it as it is. And once you choose this workspace, so are you all on this window? So Vaishnavi done. Okay, so just move on. So click on launch. Click on launch. So once you click on launch, you will get a first welcome page. You will get a welcome page, because I'm not going to get a welcome page, but you will see a welcome page. There is a cross icon, that welcome page cross icon. Just close that welcome screen, and then you will land in the, so 3 panes you will get. One is, so this is the main window you will get. First you will get, before this you will get a welcome window. Close that, there's a cross icon, welcome. After there's a close icon, click close, welcome after, then you will land in this page. Here you have first package explorer, then right side is where you are going to write, and this is the right side pane where we are going to write our programs. And there is a, this is the Eclipse, so complete environment where we can write the programs.
When I clicked that welcome page out, it exited me out and it did not open the page as you said.
Okay, can you launch again?
Okay, you want me to do it again? Okay.
Yeah.
Workspace Jan 2020. Okay.
Okay, so this is the Eclipse landing page where we are going to write the programs. You can debug the programs. You can see the output also. So there is one more window you will get here. This is the one pane, right? Left pane. You can see package explorer on the left side, and the right side you will see plain. And one more also you can see. Let me show you that. Console. You will see on the bottom side console, and the right side a few other variables. All these things you will see, but you can close those things. This is the console we need. In the console you can see the output of your program, you can see. And this is the brief overview of Eclipse. Now you have a menu bar. There is a menu bar on the top: file, edit, navigate, search, project, run, window, and help. File, you can see new. You can create a new project, new package, new class, new interface, anything, new file, new folder, whatever you want, you can create a new things on the this Eclipse. You can open the already existing file. So these are all the file options, right? Basically file options. So you know, file, even Word doc file, same options will be there. But here important thing is import and export. Import and export. So import, you can import the other project into this Eclipse. So that you can do. That we're going to see in the later. Whenever necessary, I'll show you this import option. So then you have a switch workspace. If you have two workspaces, I have two workspaces. One is August, all for my Selenium scripts I am writing in this workspace. All my Java programs I'm writing under this one more, this January 2020. So I have three workspaces totally. I can switch with this option. You can switch. If you have more than one, you can switch. And you can restart your Eclipse, you can exit your Eclipse, and you can come back, right? Then edit, cut, copy, paste, undo, do all this, edit. Navigate, you can navigate to particular code with this. Navigate, search, you can search particular file, particular text, whatever you want, you can do that. Project, so you can build automatically, basically, that's enough. And run, you can run your test script using this run option. So we are going to use this run as Java application, whatever you want to do, debug as. So these are the two important points you need to remember. So you can use this run as Java application, debug as Java application, you can do that. Okay, so this is the run related. You can suspend, you can resume. If it is in pause, you can resume, you can terminate, whatever things you want to do. Okay, so for example, my window is, this window is not visible. So I lost this. How can you enable this? So I lost that left panel. How can you enable? You can just go to Window, Show View, and you can see here Package Explorer, and you can see whatever you want. You can enable from here. Just click on this, so you will get a left panel again. Again, I'm closing my console. I don't know where is my console. I want to get that. So just click on Window, Show View, and you can see here console. So whatever you want, you can so enable and disable from here, right? This is the console. In the console, you will see the output of your program. And the left side, your project name will be there. Then on the right side, the upper top part, where you will write your code, the plain English statements you are going to write. And the bottom side, only this will be shown to us once you run your program. And the bottom side, you have one more, the toolbar, same as a menu bar is there, right? This menu bar, below it is showing toolbar. You can see here, you can create a new from this toolbar also, and you can run your test script using this green bullet icon, and you can run debug mode. This bug icon is there, and you can create a package, you can create a class, so you can create a folders. So many things you can do same way, whatever you can do with the file menu, file bar. Here also you have a, so this save option, this one, save. You can save your script, you can save your program. So by clicking on this, so save, and this one, this arrow down and arrow right, this step over, you can step over from one step to other step, you can move when you running in debug mode. So this is the debug mode option, it will help us. And this is the debug. So running, if you want to run in debug mode, debug means what? So debug is nothing but executing your program step by step. So you are going to interact, line by line code execution is happening or not, you can check with this debug mode. So always, how can you find there is an issue in the program? You run the program in the debug mode, then find out the problem in the line. So that's how developers will run their code in the debug mode. They will find out the issues. So we will file a defects, right? When you file the defects, where is the issue in their code? They will debug line by line code and they will find out the issue. So that they will use this debug. Any automation tester and programmers, they have to run in debug mode to find out the root cause of an issue. Then only you will find. Otherwise, if your normal running cannot give a clear picture for that. So you have to run in debug mode, step by step you execute, then you will come to know what is the problem. And this is the normal running your script, running your program, you can do with this green bullet icon. Okay, so this is the overview. Now let's create a first Java project. This is the hierarchy. Let me give you the hierarchy. The project hierarchy I'm giving in the Eclipse the first you will create a project, right? In the project, you will give, you have a default folders you will get. Some default folders you will get. So these default folders are, you will get first SRC, then so GRE library you will get. So I'll give here GRE library. So this the all the GRE, because you already download and you will get the GRE automatically. So this the GRE libraries, all GRE libraries will be here. So when you create a project, so GRE libraries. So all Java default code will be there under this GRE libraries. Then this is the project name. So the project name you can create. You are giving your own name. That's a project name. Then under project, you will get this GRE libraries, then SRC. So under SRC, so this is the SRC folder. There is one more folder you will get, SRC folder. SRC folder is a small case only. SRC folder will be there. Under SRC, you are going to create so many. So when you create a project, Java project, first time when you create a project, you will get like this. First project name, then GRE libraries, SRC will be there. That's it, plain project if you create. Then you have under SRC, you can create a project, the package. So you will create a package first. So under SRC, you can create many packages. So I'm going to create a package 1, okay, package 1 and package 2, package 3, like that I can create a many packages. So that's the package concept is going to come here. So this is the package and another package, okay, another package, and this is the one more package. So like this you can create a different packages, and this is the package 1. I'm giving a package 1, and second one package 2. So under one package you can create under one SRC you can create many packages, package 2 and package 3. Package 3 you can create many packages. So then what is a package? A package is a collection of a group of classes, interfaces and sub packages is called one package. That means under one package you can create many classes, interfaces and sub packages. That's a one package means. So I can create a many classes under this package 1. So I'm going to create a 1. So class 1. So then another class 2, then class 3 or interface 1 and interface 2. Like this I can create so many. So this the next step is, after creating a package, for that package I'm creating a class. I'm creating a class A. Suppose I'm creating a class A, then under class another class I can create for the same package, class B, and like this I can create one more interface. So interface also can create interface C, right? So this is the different classes and interfaces I can create under one package, and same you can do here also in the second package also. Second package also you can do the same. You can do the same. Under one package you can create n number of classes and interfaces and sub packages also you can do that. And this is the class D, and next one class E. So like that you can create n number of classes and many things under each package. So the hierarchy is project first you will create. Once you create a project, you will get a GRE libraries, automatic Java code. They already developed, right? That entire Java code you will get. Then you have a SRC folder. Under SRC, you will create a package. A package means a group of similar classes and interfaces and sub packages combination is called one package. Why you need to categorize? This package is going to categorize your classes and so interfaces. If you're not categorizing, we cannot understand, right? If you write all of them at a one place, it's difficult to identify the class, which class is doing what. That's why we are going to categorize our classes and interfaces using this package concept. So it is easy to maintain our code, easy to maintain our classes and interfaces with this package concept. And also it provides access protection. So package 1 classes you cannot access in package 2, or package 2 classes you cannot access in package 1. Directly you don't have a provision. But there is another way how to do that access, and I'm going to explain in this class. So that's the hierarchy and project structure in the Eclipse or Java project structure. So let's simulate this. Let's simulate this in the Eclipse. Okay.
When you are creating classes in packages, right? Like the similar kind of classes and all. Can we, I mean, if there are some predefined classes or predefined interfaces which belong to the same category or same type, can we use in this package, or do we have to create new ones all the time?
No, you cannot use you cannot create a same one already created by them.
Okay,
if you create a same class already existing in the Java, you will get a duplicate class is already exist. You'll get a message in the Eclipse itself. You will get that. So you can use it. You can use that class. Okay. You can use that class in your program. You can use that code in your program. Only this, you can create a new classes, new interfaces, new packages you can create. Not existing one, you can use the existing one, but you cannot create the existing classes, interfaces, packages. Existing one, already in the JRE library, you have all the Java existing classes, interfaces, and that, right? Those you can use in your program, but you cannot create those things again.
Okay.
Good point, guys. Catch this. Already Java created some default code, right? Default classes, interfaces, packages. Those you can use in your code, but you cannot create them again.
Okay.
It won't accept. Always here you can do your user defined packages you can create, not built-in packages. Java providing so many built-in packages. So let me give you that built-in packages. Okay.
Yeah.
So whatever we are creating, that is a user defined packages. You are defining that packages. The built-in packages are, so these are all built-in packages. Java is the root package, lang. All lowercase will write a package names. You should not give a capital letters. Java.io, Java.util, Java.net, Java.sql, Java.awt. So this is the default packages already created by Java. These packages are built-in packages. When you have a Java in your machine, you're creating a Java project. All these packages are ready-made. You can get them by default. You don't need to create. And each package, this is the package, right? Java.lang is the sub package. Java is the root package. Lang is the sub package. Here also Java is the root package, IO is the sub package. Java.util, Java.net, Java.sql, Java.awt. So they categorized each package has some classes and interfaces. So now lang package has, yes, system class. I'm going to use this system class. Then you have a string class. And like that, IO package also all file related. file related. File class is there, file output, file class, and this util all collection classes. You have collection class. So many collections class are released. I cannot list out all of them here, but I'm listing a few of them. Hash checked. So these are the classes. So many classes are there. So all network related classes. SQL database related classes will be there. And java.awt. So these are all robot class. So we need this. That's why I'm just explaining this robot class. And those packages has many classes. I listed out a few of them here. Okay, but the packages are many here. So these packages contains many classes. And that's what the built-in packages. These are all available under this JRE libraries inside. Right? rt.jar file is available under this JRE libraries. And you can find all of them. I'll show you. So in a short period, I'll show you. In few minutes, we're going to see that. So can you all come to the Eclipse? And first, we're going to create a project. Let's create the project. So click on File, New. And if you're not seeing Java project here, don't worry. Click on Project. So I'm going through project because first time when you launch your Eclipse, you won't see Java project. If you see, that is good. If you're not seeing, don't worry. First, you need to create a project in the Eclipse. Under that project, you can create in many programs. So File, New, Project. Click on the Project option. Project. And then first you will see Select Wizard. Select a wizard. And if you are not able to see Java, just type here Java in this place. Type here in this edit box Java. Then you can see only Java folder here. So select the Java project. Click on this, select this Java project. Then click on next button. Click on next button. Once you get the Java project here, so click on next. Click on next. See here, create a Java project. Enter the project name. So this is the project name you give. So whatever the project name you want, you can. I'm just giving Java training February 4th, 2021. Just giving a simple for my recognition purpose, right? I want to remember this project. So project name, and this is the location. We have given, right, the workspace location, D Eclipse workspace January. Under that folder, this project will create. This project will create with the folder. So default location is this one. If you want to change the location, you can just uncheck this and browse it. Then you don't need to change JRE. Use a project specific JRE or use the latest JRE, whatever you have, you choose that. You don't need to change. It will pick up automatically by Eclipse. The JRE will be picked up by Eclipse automatically. You don't need to do anything here. So no need to touch anything here. Just click on finish. Right? Are you all on this window?
So Ramesh, to me, it is by default to the first one, use an execution environment JRE. So should I change it or I just keep it like
keep
that?
it. Keep it like that. Anyone is fine.
And in the project layout also, it chooses the first one as default. It chooses use
no problem. Take it first one only.
Okay. The second one also, the second tab, it says project layout.
Yeah. So you don't need to change this here in the JRE specific or radio buttons. You don't need to change it. Leave it as it is. Just give project name here.
Ramesh, the second one.
This one, use default location.
No. After JRE, there's another tab called project layout.
No need to change. No need to change it. You have this second one, right? Create a
No. It's showing me the first one. The first one, it's default.
Use project folders as root for sources and class files.
Yeah, it's highlighted.
No problem. You can keep it. Or a second one you choose. Second one you choose. Create separate folders for sources and class files. You can choose this and click on finish. Click on finish. Right? So everybody able to do this, or anybody facing problems?
Ramesh?
Okay, so here you have create a new Java project, third option. Just select that. If you are in the welcome page, guys, you can directly create a Java project from here itself. Whatever the name you can give, it's up to you. Nobody restricts you. It's your choice. The project name you can give, whatever the name you
Java
want.
20. That's it.
That's it. Just click on
Okay.
finish. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now you will end it
Again,
in the
I.
context.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
other things, just expand this, expand the middle one. There is a top right side. There is a minus icon, top right side, top right side.
Top
Now that is the
right
left side
side.
you are in. Right.
Okay.
There is a minus icon and there is a check box type.
Minimize.
No, minimize, no, expand. That one. The next one, next one.
Uh-oh.
That's a minimize. That's a minimize. You
Again,
open
it's
again. Yeah. So minimize, maximize. That's a maximization.
maximization. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bottom one also same. It's showing.
You can close this. You
Here.
can close the task list. You can close the outline. You can close them.
Okay. I closed
Close
it.
them. Close them.
Outline.
All of them you close it. Everybody close those task outline, variables, all those things you can close it. Okay. Okay. Now, so come back. I'll come back to my screen. So expand your project. Everyone, expand your project. So can you all expand here? So this is our project. So there is a arrow icon, right? Click on this arrow icon. You can see JRE system library and SRC folder. This is what I have shown you, right? Project structure. First project name. The project name is Java training. Second one is JRE. Under the project name, you have a JRE system library, SRC. Let me show you all the JRE system library. See that? Resources.jar, rt.jar. rt.jar contains all these packages. So I have given all the packages, right? Every package you can find under here. You can expand this. You can find, see that. Oracle.net, NIO, util package, web services, AWT, beans, so many classes you can find here. So many packages. So many packages. So we don't need all of them, but fine. You see java.sql, java.text, java.time, java.util, so many packages, java.lang, java. So all this predefined code. So whatever we need, we can use, right? rt.jar contains all basic core Java classes and interfaces you can find. So fine, we don't need that now. Okay, just close that. Then SRC. So here I have explained you under SRC, we need to create a package, our user defined package. So let's create this user defined package. So I'm going to create a package now. Under project, source folder, under source, right click on the source folder, right click on the source folder, new, right click on the source folder. Are you all see the source folder? Expand the project. The arrow icon is there, right? Project name below, before arrow icon is there. Click on that, it will expand. It will show for you JRE and SRC. You right click on SRC, new, you can see package, new package. I'm creating a all lowercase you give basic programs. All lowercase, don't select this, create a package info, don't create this, leave it blank. So you just need to do, just give the package name, all lowercase. Click on finish. Don't check this checkbox. Just give the basic programs package name. See that? Create a new Java package. Give the package name. Click on finish. I created one package under SRC. See that? Under SRC package. And one more package I'm going to create. Again, right click on SRC. New package. I'm creating variable types. Variable type programs. Second package I'm creating. Variable type programs. Like that, all the packages you create. Different packages you can create. New package method programs. Another package I created. So I'm going to categorize my programs with this package concept. See that the square is a white color now because the package doesn't has any classes. This is our user defined packages. So we created these packages, right? We have created these packages. That's why these packages are called user defined packages. Now, right click. So are you all created these 3 packages? So once you create these 3 packages, let me know. Only one responded. Okay.
Creator Ramesh.
Okay. Thank you. What about others? Swati, Sirisha.
You're done from my side too.
Okay. Thank you. What about others? Ready,
Yeah,
Prasad?
created, Ramesh.
For this package, I need to create a new class. I need to create a new class. So for each package, you can create your own class. So which package you want to create a class? Select that package. First, select this package. Select the package, then right click on that package. So now first we created a Java project. Then under SRC, we created multiple packages. Now for each package, I'm going to create a class. Now first basic programs package, I'm creating a first Java program. So right click on this basic programs, new, there is option class. Can you see here? Right click on the basic programs, new class, click on the class. Here you can see a Java class, create a new Java class, and it is showing source folder, your project name /src, that's your source folder location, and package, your package name should show here. Your package name should show because you right clicked on the basic programs package, so that package name should show. Now below, this is the class name. The name field is there, right? This name field, you give your class name. So I'm going to give a class name, my first Eclipse program. How many words are there? My first Eclipse program. How many words are there? 4 words, right? Every word, first letter, write in capital letter. Remaining letters you write in lowercase. Again, I'm repeating. Anytime you are creating a Java class, you should follow the naming conventions. If class name is a one word, the first letter of that word should be in capital letter, uppercase letter, first letter only. Remaining letters keep in lowercase. If more than one word is there, like my first Eclipse program, many words are there, right? Every word, first letter should be in uppercase and don't give any spaces. Okay, so write my first, see, M only capital, first F only capital, Eclipse E only capital, program P only capital. So this is the how to give a name for the class. You must follow the naming conventions of a Java class. This is the standards of a class if you are creating. Anywhere you are creating or you are using the class, make sure the word first letter should be in uppercase. Okay, so this is the class name. Can you see here modifiers? Modifiers are 2 types. I'm going to explain later this very important topic, this one, and tomorrow's class I'll explain each and every keyword. So modifiers are 2 categories: access modifiers, non-access modifiers. Modifiers are 2 categories: access modifiers, non-access modifiers. And access modifiers again categorized into 4: public, package or default, private, protected. These are the 4 categories of access modifiers. Non-access modifiers are categorized into abstract, final, static. These are the non-access modifier keywords. But all this overall, this all comes under modifier category. And you choose public or package, but you cannot choose private and protected. These are disabled. Can you see this? These radio buttons are disabled for the class. So the class can be either public or package only. So choose this. So everybody given this class name. So you must follow the class naming conventions. Every word, first letter should be in uppercase. Anywhere you are creating, you are using the class, other class, make sure you remember this rule. The rule is every word, first letter should be in uppercase. That's a mandatory. You have to remember this rule. You need to remember this rule whenever you are creating a new class, whenever you are using a new class or other existing class. Okay, then can you see here java.lang.object? I told you, right? Object class also created under this built-in package. Object class is the root class for all the Java classes. The parent class is object class. For any class you create, already Java created many classes. The parent for all the Java classes object class already created by Java. So that's why you see O capital letter. O is capital, remaining all lowercase. That's what. Wherever you are using a class, you are creating a new class, mandatory this rule to apply that rule for the class naming conventions. Next, which method stubs would you like to create? This is the one I want to create, public static void main. So string, again see this capital letter string. Why string is capital letter? Because it is a class. String is a class. String, the square brackets args. You don't need to do anything here. Just check this checkbox, because this method is used under this class. This is the one of the method we are choosing to run our program. So choose this, click on finish. So then under this package, the class is created. Now see, it is turned into brown color. The package symbol turned into brown color because this package has a class. I'm closing this console as of now. First package, the top will be package name. The package name will be there. Then you have, can you see here your class naming conventions? Class name dot Java. Yesterday I told you Java file extension is dot Java extension will be there. Dot Java extension is there. Any Java file extension is dot Java extension. Yeah. Now then, so you can find here also Java file extension. If anybody asks, you can say your class name dot Java. This is the class name. This is the class name. How can you say your class name? Class keyword after the class name will be there. This is your class name you have given. First, the structure of your class, package name, package keyword, the package name. So this is the brown color, this red color, right? This color is a reserved keyword. That's why it is showing that. The package keyword space, the package name. That's a package name, right? Basic programs. Then package below, you have a class. So public class, my class name, the curly braces, this curly braces tells you, the flower braces tells you the class is started here. And then below that class, you can have many members, but I am taking only one member. This is a main method. This is called main method. This is called main method, public static void main. See, method name you are writing in all lowercase if one word is there. So this main method followed by round brackets. This round brackets, this is called parenthesis. Parenthesis start and parenthesis end here. So this is the string, another class again, another class, and string square bracket args. So this is a predefined method Java given to us to execute your code. So first, some statements I will write. How to write a statement? I want to print something. How can you print? There is a system class, right? System, S capital, because S is system is a class in Java, predefined class. You can use anywhere that class. System dot, I'm calling that class one member, that is out variable. I want to print, I want to output. So system dot out. write system dot out dot println. So there is a print. I want to print my message to console. So take println and give this in double quotes. You put, right, my first Eclipse program. Some statements, whatever the statements you want, you can do this. The shortcut I will give you for this system.out.println. I'll give a shortcut for this. So first finish this line. First finish this line. So make sure you end with a semicolon. Every statement should end with a semicolon. Under main method only you need to write. So then below, next line, 8th line I'm writing. 8th line I'm writing. So the shortcut I'm giving for system.out.println. So once you are done, let me know. The shortcut for system.out.println is type SYSO. First type SYSO. Two fingers, one finger on the control key and second finger on the space bar key. At a time you need to press both the keys, control key and space bar key. At a time you press and then press enter key. You will get a system.out.println. So what is that? Just type SYSO you type, then one finger on the control, one finger on the space bar. At a time you press, then press enter key. Immediately press enter key. You will get a system.out.println method automatically. The command you will get directly. You don't need to write system.out.println. You don't need to do that. Okay. In the double quotes I'm writing my numbers are. So I'm going to specify all 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So whatever the statement you want, you can write under this double quotes. As it is, it will print. So as it is, it will print for you. That's another statement. But I don't want to print the next line. I want to print after this 9. I want to print my next line. So then you can do sysout, control space bar, enter key. Then you don't take println, just remove the ln and print method you take. So I'm taking a special characters. All special characters I'm putting. That's it, right? So this is the special characters I entered. Whatever you want. So that's my special characters. Print method I have taken, not println. So like this, you can write many print statement. You are just printing something to your console. So you are asking system output this statement and print that to console. That's what you are saying. Okay. Then I can just print just A. I can print even character also I can print. Next. Sysout, you can print even numbers also. For example, 25 number I want to print in the next line. Println will print that given whatever you're giving the round brackets, that will print. Cursor will move to next line. So learning Java. So whatever the statement in double quotes, if you give it is taking a string format. You can give a character format. You can give a number format. Whatever the format you want, you can give. The multiple print statements I'm giving in the floating point. I'm mentioning floating values. I can mention Boolean values also. Boolean values are true or false, right? I can mention Boolean values also. I can simply say, so I'm ending my, so even right, I can put some design also. In double quotes, whatever you put, it will print. So this is the simple program you can do. It's all print related statement. Each line is called one command. So each line should end with a semicolon. So each line should end with a semicolon. These are all print related statements. So in Java, you want to print something, take system.out.println method. And within brackets, so double quotes inside, you give your statements. Within double quotes, you give your statements. So that's the complete. You can give a characters. This is double quotes. If you specify, that will be treated as a string. If you give in single quotes, that will be treated as a single character. If you give only numbers, you can print only numbers, only strings, only characters, and only alpha, this numerics, and you can print only Boolean values. You can do some design also. That's the first print statement. Okay. So now how to execute this? How to execute this? Or you just copy paste also all the things and do multiple print statements also. But first time you practice. First time you practice. So then how to run this program? So many ways you can run the program, right? You can click on this bullet icon, the green bullet icon. You just click on this. Your code will execute. See that? The output, each output line, each print statement is printing in the line by line order. Line by line it is executing, not randomly. Line by line it is executing. Line by line it is executing. And this is the one way to run. Or you right click here, so you can see a run as Java application. This is the second way to run. See, in the console will open in the bottom side for you. So same output is showing here. This outputting system.out will output the data to us. And println is printing whatever you have given here. And next way to run, on the top menu I'm using run menu. Click on run menu, run. So this is another way to run. I can use a run menu. I can use a toolbar, this green button, or I can right click here. I can right click on this package below. The class is there, right? The file name, my first Eclipse program.java. You can right click there on that file, run as Java application. So these are the many ways to run your program. See that this is the completed, running, over. So you got the output here. That's the meaning of how to execute your code, how to write a simple program. Anything if you want to execute, that statement must be under main method only. Under this curly braces, this is the method body. The method body starts here, method body ends here. This is the method body ends. Main method body ends. Main method ends here. So here main method starts. This is the comments. Main method starts here. So this is the class starts here. The class beginning. This is the class beginning. And this is the last one is class ending. Class ending. So every class has a curly brace, start curly braces, end curly braces. This is highlighted. This end curly braces is highlighted because my cursor is here. If I put cursor here, see that the highlightation is coming here on the 17th line. So this is the method ending. This is the method body. This is the only method body. And this entire thing is a class body. So class inside main method is one of the member. So that I will explain class structure tomorrow. And please practice and create a few more programs, 3 more classes under this. You create your own classes, right? And write some print statement and practice. Then come tomorrow, I'll explain and what is this class structure and what is mean by this public class keywords, and we'll see that one by one. Okay, any questions?